Good afternoon. Hello everyone. So, today we are starting from chapter number 7 NCERT class 6. So, this is class 6 history NCERT and chapter number 7. Okay. The chapter name is From a Kingdom to an Empire. So, this chapter will be dealing about the features of a kingdom, why a kingdom is called a kingdom, and why an empire is bigger than a kingdom. So, what is an empire, what is a kingdom, right? We will get to know about the differentiation. Also, what was the first greatest empire of ancient India? Magad, right? All the greatest rulers of Magad, especially the Ashoka, right? So, we will be dealing about these things, and also most important thing is what? UPSC perspective, all the important details, information that we should keep in mind related to UPSC. The question that will be asked in UPSC, we will be covering that also. Okay. So, let us start. Now, at the starting of the chapter itself, we can see the lion capital, right? It is the lion capital. Okay. So, the basic feature of lion capital, this paragraph is dealing with the lions that we see on our notes and coins. Okay, they have a long history. They belong to Ashoka's period, right? Now, they were carved in stone. So, what was the material? Stone. They were placed on top of a massive stone pillar at Sarnath. Second important thing is what? So, it is telling us that we have taken this lion capital from Sarnath. Okay, Ashoka is and was one of the greatest ruler known to history, right? Modern empire, and on his instructions, inscriptions were inscribed. So, second most important thing, Ashoka did what? He inscribed inscriptions at various places. And what was happening? So, he was the first ruler to do what? To give instruction to his subjects to deal with his subjects, to give instructions to his subjects through inscription. He is the first ruler. Am I audible, students? Can anyone say hi? Am I audible? Is my voice okay? Video clarity is okay? Is this screen? Can you see the screen? Any student who can confirm this? Yes, students? Am I audible? Is everything visible, clear? Type yes if everything is clear, visible. Yes. Okay. So, Ashoka was the greatest, and second thing, important thing about him is that he used to inscribe inscription, and this was the way he was telling his subjects, his official, that what are the duties and responsibilities of officers, what is the duty of a person, right? Okay. Next is what? Inscribed on pillars. So, these inscriptions were inscribed on pillars, on caves, right, on big rocks, and then as well as on rock surfaces. See, big rocks. So, they were called as rock edicts. So, they were known as rock edicts, and questions come from pillar inscription, rock edicts, they are a very important part. Okay. Now, empire that Ashoka ruled was founded by Chandragupta Maurya, the first modern king, right? And then more than 2300 years ago, and Mauryan empire was the first greatest empire, right? Second thing, Chandragupta was supported by a wise man called Kautilya or Chanakya. He was the author of Arthashastra. Arthashastra gave us important information regarding the Mauryan dynasty, the administration of Maurya dynasty, Mauryan empire, right? Okay. Now, what is a dynasty? Arthashastra book is very important, and it is written by Chanakya or Kautilya. Okay. Now, dynasty. What is the meaning of a dynasty? Clearly, it is telling that when members of the same family, they rule one after another, so they are often called the dynasty. People from the same family, so they form a dynasty. Okay, this is the meaning. Mauryas were a dynasty with three important rulers. The name has been given: Chandragupta, then came Bindusar, then came Ashok. Okay, how are you all, students? Can anyone say hi or type yes if everything is audible, visible, everything is clear? Okay, so this is the meaning of a dynasty. So, see, these boxes are very important. NCERT boxes, the information given in NCERT boxes, they are a very important thing. Okay, do not miss these things, and all the maps that are given in NCERT, they are also important. Okay, chalo. Next is what? Okay, see, there were okay, there were several cities in the empire. Okay, and the map is given. Several cities in the empire. In which empire? The Mauryan Empire. Okay, these included the capital Patliputra. Okay, when Maurya dynasty was formed and Mauryan Empire was formed, the first capital was Rajgir, and then it was shifted to Patliputra. Second capital was Patliputra. So this was an important city. Takshila is the second important city, Ujjain. So these are what important center. Remember this, because UPSC can ask question that during Mauryan Empire, what all cities were important, and they can give the names, right? So Ujjain, Takshila and Patliputra. Next is what? Takshila was a gateway. So the importance of these centers have also been given. Mark these things. Takshila was a gateway to northwest. Where is the location? Okay, this is the location. This is Takshila, and it was the gateway to northwest. Okay, including Central Asia, where Ujjain lay, while Ujjain lay on the route from north to south. Okay, so north to south, Ujjain was connecting, and this is the importance of Ujjain. Okay, okay. Now, lay on the north to south. Merchants, officials and craftspersons probably lived in these cities. So, cities, there were people who were living, and then these people were merchant, officials and craftspersons. In other areas, there were villagers of farmers and herders. So, composition of society, there were merchants, there were herders, craftspersons and villagers were also there, and villages were comprised of farmers and herders. So this was a section of people, and tax system was also there, right? So what taxes each section of society was giving? Okay, in some areas such as central India, there were forests. Okay, so see, Maurya dynasty, Mauryas, Magad was a Mahajanpad also, okay, and then Mauryan dynasty. They had many advantages which gave them an upper hand, and how they were able to build the greatest, the first greatest empire of ancient India. How they were able to do this? Because of the abundance of natural resources, elephants were there, right? So forests were there, where people gathered forest produce and hunted animals for food. Okay, now people in different part of empire spoke different languages. So there, see, many class of people are there. Okay, okay, now this map is very important, and what this map is showing? This map is showing what? So there is this information given. Okay, the places where inscription of Ashoka have been found were marked with red dots. So red color you see, all the places where inscriptions are found of Ashoka are marked with red dots, and these were included within the empire. So this all forms Mauryan Empire. Extent you can see. Okay, now we will see. So red is the places where inscriptions were found, and black is what? The important centers like Ujjain, Takshila, Patliputra. Okay, now the inscriptions, right? What are the places? Can you see the map clearly? Lampaka, Kandhar, Mansehra, Shabasgadi, Kalsi, Meerut, Lumbini, Gurjara, Kaushambi, Sanchi, Sopara, Sannati, Maski, Yeragudi, Brahmagiri, Dhauli. These are all very important, and questions are asked in prelims also that one of the mark the places where we find the inscription of Ashoka, and 5-6 locations are given. Okay, let's move forward now. See, now we know that the composition of society, there was different classes of society were there. They were speaking different languages, right? So the inscription language, because Ashoka was doing what? Ashoka was taking care of his subjects in a very good manner, right? He was taking care of every need and aspirations of the society, and he was well aware of the thing that vernacular language, how it is important. So his inscription, we see that many languages were there. Brahmi was there, right? Prakrit was there. So they probably ate different kind of food also. Okay, Ashoka, they had the empire had different languages, right? Different food patterns were also there, different kinds of clothes were also there. So what we see, different, exactly different culture were there, right? How are empires different from kingdom? The name of the chapter is From a Kingdom to an Empire. So, how empire differs from a kingdom? Okay, emperors. See, need more resources. Emperors, empire is a bigger version. Okay, so they need more resources than kings because empires are larger than kingdoms. Okay, and then need to be protected by big armies. So, bigger protection, big armies, more resources, more food. So, they need a larger number of officials also to collect the taxes. Large area, large administration, large number of people. Okay. Ruling the empire. Okay, now ruling the empire. Is everything audible, students? No one is saying yes. Please type yes if you can hear me. Okay. Ruling the empire. As the empire was so large, right, different parts were ruled differently. So, we have seen the extent of the empire. Takshila was there, right, Shabazgadi is there, Mansehra, Brahmagiri. So, north to south, east to west, we have seen the extent. So, it was ruled by many people and by different methods, right. The area around Patliputra was under the direct control of the emperor. Very important. Ancient India prelims question will be asked that consider the following statements related to Mauryan Empire, and this statement will be given, can be given, and what is the statement? That Patliputra comes under the direct control of the emperor. Remember this point because Patliputra's second time we are finding the mention. First, it is an important center. Second, Patliputra is the capital and under direct control of the emperor. Next is what this meant, that officials were appointed to collect taxes from farmers, herders, craftsmen and traders. So, these were the people who were comprising the society, right, who lived in villages and towns, right. Officials also punished those who disobeyed the ruler's orders. Okay, punishment was also given. Next thing, many of these officials were given salaries. Okay, very important. They were paid salaries. This statement can come in UPSC. Messengers went to and fro and spies kept a watch on the official. So, was there a spy system? Yes, there was a spy system. Third, very important information regarding Mauryan administration, Mauryan Empire, and of course the empire supervised them all with the help of members of royal family and minister and officials. Okay. There were other areas or provinces. Now, Patliputra, the number of people who were collecting taxes, different kind of activities, we know. Now, other areas or provinces. Okay. One second. Each of these was ruled from a provincial capital. Now, provinces. So, provincial capital is what? Takshila and Ujjain will come under provincial capital. Okay. So, these are provincial capitals. Question can come. The provincial capital of Mauryan Empire were what? Okay. Now, although there was some amount of control over Patliputra and royal princes were often sent as governors, local customs, rulers were probably followed. Okay, rules were probably followed. So, many people. So, royal princes, okay, they were sent as governors, okay, and then local custom and rules were probably followed. So, princes are governors also of these provincial areas, okay. Now, besides, there were vast areas between these centers. So, we know, right, that Takshila and then Ujjain, okay, and then Patliputra, right. So, Takshila and Ujjain, between these areas, there are other areas also, right. So, what is happening with those areas? Here, the Mauryas tried to control roads and rivers, okay. Road is what? Transportation. River was also used as a means of transportation, and then which were important for transport and to collect whatever resources were available. So, first thing, it was being used as transportation. Second thing, they charged these areas. Taxes were collected from these areas. Okay, the population was large, different kind of activities, so different kind of tax collection also. Now, for example, the Arthashastra tells us that the northwest was important for blanket. Okay, very important. Northwest is important for blanket and South India for its gold and then precious stone. South India, gold and precious stone, northwest, blanket. It is possible that these resources were collected as tribute. So first is what? Taxes which are collected, right, from roads and rivers, and second thing is about tribute. So tribute was coming from northwest and then South India also, and gold was coming from South India, right. Now what is a tribute? Unlike taxes which were collected on a regular basis, tribute was collected as and when it was possible from people who gave a variety of things more or less willingly. Tribute is not mandatory, okay, it was given willingly, okay, and variety of things were coming, okay, this is tribute. So there were also the forested regions, we know, right. People living in these areas were more or less independent, forest people, okay, but they have been expected. There were expectations from their people to provide elephant, right, timber, honey and wax. So what this information is telling us, that forest people were also giving, right, honey, timber, elephants and things like that in their capacity, okay, the emperor and the capital city. So very important, and every year we see that, almost every year we see that question comes from this part, Megasthenes, okay. Megasthenes was an ambassador in the court of which of the king, okay, simple question but difficult to remember. Megasthenes was an ambassador who was sent to the court of Chandragupta Maurya, very important, the founder of the dynasty. Megasthenes, the founder of the dynasty Chandragupta Maurya, he was in his court by the Greek ruler of West Asia named Seleucus Nicator. Very important information related to UPSC, and Megasthenes has given a piece of information related to the capital Patliputra and the people also, okay, a detailed account, because he was there for couple of years, and then Megasthenes has given this account, and he was a ambassador of Greek ruler, remember this point, okay. Next, Ashoka, a unique ruler. Why Ashoka is called the greatest ruler of modern empire and why he was unique? First thing, he used to communicate with his subject through inscriptions, okay. The most famous ruler was Ashoka. He was the first who tried to take his message to the people through inscriptions. So they were like modern constitution, okay, and the duties and responsibilities were inscribed in those inscriptions. Most of Ashoka's inscriptions were in Prakrit and were written in Brahmi script. Very important information. Brahmi script was used, Kharoshthi was used, and Prakrit language was used, okay, depending on the area. Now, Ashoka's war in Kalinga, very famous event, right, and it changed his personality, his mindset completely. Hello Ashutosh, okay, so it changed his personality completely, okay. Kalinga is an important chapter in Ashoka's life. So Kalinga is the ancient name of Odisha, okay, coastal Odisha. Ashoka fought a war to conquer Kalinga, right, and then he was so horrified. He conquered Kalinga, but there were lakhs of people who died, right. So he was so horrified that the violence that he had done, right, he committed, he bloodshed, he decided not to fight any more war, and then he preached what? Dhamma, right, peace, brotherhood, love. He is the only king in the history of the world, very important point. He is the only king in the history of the world who gave up conquest after winning a war, and his foreign policy also changed, right. So Dhamma Ghosha was adopted, and Bheri Ghosha, which means conquering through war, was rejected, okay. Dhamma Ghosha means conquering through peace, love, okay. So this was adopted. He is the only king in the world, remember this point. And now see, Ashoka's inscription describing the Kalinga war. This information is also given, that this is what Ashoka declared in one of his inscription. 8 years after becoming king, I conquered Kalinga. So you can read this information, right. Next is, what was Ashoka's Dhamma? Very important questions come from this, okay, from this part. So Ashoka's Dhamma, what was it exactly? Okay, it did not involve worship of a god, right, and performance of a sacrifice. So Dhamma, no worship of God, no sacrifice. He felt that just as a father tries to teach his children, he had a duty to instruct his subject. First thing, very important, related to Ashoka's Dhamma, he tried to teach his subjects. Okay, so this was not a religion, this was not a what? A worship of God. This was a order or rules, right? Simple. So instructions given by Ashoka is what? Dhamma. He was also inspired by the teachings of Buddha, right? So many things, non-violence, love, peace, brotherhood, respect, right, taking care of everyone, all are aligning with the Buddha's principle, right? So he was also inspired by Buddha, and he visited places related to Buddha. Okay, there were a number of problems that troubled him, right? People in the empire followed different religion. We know different religion were there, different cultures were there, and this sometimes led to conflicts, right? Conflicts, and he was not okay with this kind of thinking, right? And then animals were sacrificed, so he was also against this sacrifice thing. Slaves and servants were ill-treated, right? Besides, there were quarrels in the family and amongst neighbors. So he was preaching love, brotherhood, trust, respect. Ashoka felt it was his duty to solve these problems. So he appointed officers known as Dhamma Mahamatta. Very, very important. These were officers who went from place to place teaching about Dhamma, okay, propagating Dhamma. And now, besides Ashoka got his messages, besides this Dhamma Mahamattas, he got his messages inscribed on rocks and pillars, which are called as pillar inscription and rock edicts. And these instructions were inscribed on the rock pillars and inscriptions, and then they were telling that what is the role of a person, right? What is the role of a king? What is the duty of a king? What is the duty of a subject, right? All this information has been given in the pillar inscription, rock inscription, okay? Now, Ashoka also sent messengers. See, not only he inscribed different inscriptions, not only he appointed Dhamma Mahamattas, but he was also sending messengers to different areas outside India also, outside Indian subcontinent also, to spread ideas about Dhamma to other lands such as Syria, Egypt, Greece, and then Sri Lanka. We know, right? His son Mahendra and daughter Sangamitra went to Sri Lanka. This question also comes, okay? He built roads. He was taking care of his subjects just like a father. So in one of his inscription, it is mentioned that I treat my subjects as sons and daughters, right? Okay, he built roads, dug wells, and built rest houses, right? Besides, he arranged for medical treatment also for both human beings and animals. Animal sacrifice he was prohibiting, right? He was against the animal sacrifice. Now, okay, Ashoka's message to his subjects. So this is the message that he is giving, that people should not fight among themselves. People perform a different practice, sacrifices, which is not required. If instead people observe other practices, would be more fruitful. What are the practices that people should actually perform? So these are being gentle with slaves, servants, right? Respecting one's elder. So these are the teachings of Dhamma. Very, very important. These are the teachings of Dhamma. Treating all creatures with compassion, right? Giving gifts to Brahmins and monks. It is both wrong to praise one's own religion and to criticize others' religion. So, do you think that Dhamma principle can solve today's problem also? Comment down and give me your views, okay? What are your views regarding this Dhamma principle and how can it solve today's problems of the society, right? Each one should respect the other religion, right? And then if one praises one's own religion while criticizing another's, he is actually doing a great harm. If only people understand this thing, they will know the exact meaning of life, right? Therefore, one should try to understand the main ideas of another religion and respect it. If I respect you, you will respect me, right? And then this brotherhood feeling, this trust, this love will be maintained. So this is chapter number 7 from Kingdom to an empire, right? All the important information that we have discussed is very relevant for UPSC examination. This map is very important, right? What was the role of pillar inscription and everything. So try to remember all the important information, okay? Try to make notes. So we have covered what empire, capital, province, what were the provinces that were very important, right? And then messenger, official, and Dhamma Mahamatas also. So I'll see you in the next video with a new chapter of class 6 history NCERT. Till then, please like, share and subscribe our channel, and then share the video. Okay, thank you.